Hello and welcome back. So in the last lecture, we completed the sign up functionality in our Express application. Now in this lecture and in the next lecture, we are going to implement the login functionality. So as we have learned before, whenever a client makes a login request to the server, the login request is basically going to be a post request. And with that post request, the client has to send the username and password for that user to the server. Now in our application, we are using this email as the username. So when we are making a post request to the login route, with that request, in the request body, we need to send the email of the user who we want to log in and the password associated with that email. Now, once the request is received on the server, we are going to make some checks. And the first thing which we are going to check is the request which we have received. With that request, whether we have received both email and password or not. If the email or the password is not sent with the request body, in that case, that request will not be considered as a valid request. And in that case, from the server, from our Express application, we are going to send a 404 response. But if the email and password exist in the request body, then we are going to check whether with the given email, a user exists in the users collection or not. So it is possible that the email value which we have received with the request, with that email, we do not have any user in the users collection. So in that case also, we are going to send a bad request response if the user with the given email does not exist. But if the user with the given email exists, the next check which we are going to do is the password which we have received for that email. If that password matches the saved password in the database. Okay. Now, if the password does not match for the given email, in that case again, we are going to send a 40 response, which means unauthorized. But if the user with the given email exists and the password which he has provided that also matches, in that case, we are going to generate a JSON web token and we are going to send that JSON web token as a response to the client. And then that token will be used for accessing any protected route on the server. So this is what we have learned so far about the authentication. Now we are going to implement it practically for our Express application. So let's go to VS Code, and first of all, inside this auth controller, I'm going to create another route handler function. So for that, I can say exports dot, and then I'm going to call this route handler function as login. And here, first of all, I'm going to call this catch async function, and to this catch async function, we will pass an async function, the route handler function which we are creating. Okay, so this function is going to be our route handler function, and this route handler function, it is going to receive the request object, the response object, and the next function. And as we have learned before, since we are passing this async function to this catch async, any error which will occur inside this async function, that will be handled by this catch async function. Okay, so inside this function, we do not need to write any try catch block. Let me save the changes here. And the next thing which we are going to do is we are also going to create a router. So let's go to authrouter.js, and there, just like how we have this sign up route, in the same way, I'm going to create another route for login. So here the route will be /login. And whenever we get a post request on this login route, we want to execute the login function of auth controller. All right, let's save the changes here. Let's go back to auth controller. And as I mentioned before, the first thing which we are going to check is the request which we are receiving, if that request body contains the email or password field or not. So here, let me create a variable. I'll call it as email. And let's assume that in the request body, we are going to receive the email and password. So we are going to read that email and password from the request body. So here I'll say request.body.email, and I'll also create a password variable, and to read the password on the request object, again from the request body, we are going to read the password field. Okay, now let's say while making a login request, the user has not specified the email field. In that case, we are going to add a check here. So here I'm going to write an if statement. And let's say the user has not specified the email in the request body. So in that case, this expression here, it will return undefined. So that undefined is a falsy value. So here we are going to check if not of email, that means if the email is a falsy value, on that if I use not operator, this condition will become true. In that case, we want to create an error and we want to call the error handler middleware. So here I'll simply create a variable, I'll call it as error, and to create the error, we are going to use the app error class. And to use this app error class, we also need to import it inside this file. So let's create a variable. Let's simply call it as app error. And we are going to require this app error. So from the current folder, we need to move one folder up. And in there, we need to go to utilities folder. And inside that, we have app error class. This app error file from where we are exporting the app error class. Okay, and now we are creating an instance of this app error class here. And when we are creating an instance, first we need to specify the error message. So here I'll simply say email is not provided. Okay, and the status code is going to be 400, which stands for bad request. And here I'm also going to check one more condition. So let's say if the email is not present, or if the email is present, but the email value is empty string. So for that, I'll say email equals empty string. In that case also, we want to create this error and we want to call the global error handling middleware with that error. Okay. So if the email does not exist in the request body, at that time we are creating this error and calling the global error handling middleware. But if the email exists, but if it is equal to empty string, then also we are creating the same error and we are calling the global error handling middleware. And we are going to do the same thing for password also. So in the request body, if the password does not exist, or if the password exists, but its value is empty string, then also we want to create an error. So let's also check for password. Okay, so if the password does not exist on the request, or if the password exists, but its value is equal to empty string, in that case, we are going to create an error with the error message, password is not provided. And then we are going to call the global error handling middleware in this stack, which will handle this error. So here let's save the changes. And what I'll also do is for now, let me send a generic response. So for that, here let's say response.status. And here let's set the status to 200. Remember that even though here we are handling a post request, using this post request, we are not going to create a new resource on the server. Here we are simply going to authenticate the user. So that's why instead of returning a 201 created response, here I'm returning 200 OK response. And in the response, I'm going to return some JSON data. So first of all, I'm going to set the status to success. And since here we also want to return a token to the client, so I'll also specify the token property. And for now, here let's simply say test token. So I'm assigning this token property with a test token string value. Okay, now remember that this response will be sent only if the email exists on the request body as well as password exists. Okay, so if these checks fail, then only this success response will be sent to the client. Let's test this out. Let's save the changes here. Let's go to terminal just to check if everything is working or not. So as you can see, everything is working and connection to DB is also successful. Let's go to Postman. There, let me copy this request and here I'm going to open a new tab. I'll paste that URL, but here instead of making a request to sign up, we are going to make a request to login route. And again, here also we are going to make a post request. Okay, and when we are going to make a post request with the request body, we are going to specify some request data. So here I'm going to select JSON, and in here we are going to pass a JSON object. In that JSON object, we need to have an email field. Okay, so here I'll specify an email. For example, let's keep it as empty string. Okay, and we also need to specify the password. And here what I'll do is for the email, I'll pass johnsmith@gmail.com, and for the password, I'll specify test1234. Now here, when I'm sending this request, let's say I have not specified the email field. So if I send the request here, in here, I'm receiving a response. But if I go to terminal, there you will see that we have an error. And here we have the error. It says cannot set headers after they are sent to the client. Okay, the problem here is here from these if statements, we are calling the global error handling middleware. And after that, we are not returning from here. So because of that, this response is also getting sent to the client. And we get an error in the terminal. So we also need to return from here. Okay, and same thing we also need to do here. If there is any error, we are going to call the global error handling middleware and we are going to return from the function. And now with this, if I save the changes and if we go to the Postman, and from there, if I make a request, now we are getting this error. Email is not provided. Now let's provide the email, but I'll not provide the password. And if I send the request, in this case, it should say password is not provided. But if I provide both email and password, but let's say one of the fields are empty, and if I send the request, in this case, we should again get this error message, password is not provided. So all these things are working as expected. But if we specify a proper password, and now if I send the request, so here we have email and password field in the request body, and they are not empty string. So in this case, we should get a valid response. So in this case, we are getting this 200 OK response, which is correct. So far, this implementation is working as expected. Okay, so if the email exists and password also exists in the request body, after that, we are going to check if with the given email, we have a user in the database. And for that, what we are going to do is, let me create a variable here. I'll simply call it as user. And here, we are going to use this user model. And on that, I'm going to call a function find one. We have learned about this find one method when we were learning about the fundamentals of MongoDB. And there we have learned that to this find method, we can also pass a filter query object. And there we can specify the filter query, basically the field by which we want to filter the document. So here I want to filter that document where the email value of the document is equal to the email which we have passed in the request body. Okay. So if with that email there is a document in the user's collection, we want to find that document. And this find one method, it is going to run asynchronously. It is going to return us a promise. So we need to await for that promise to get resolved or rejected. Okay. If the promise is rejected, it will be handled by the global error handling middleware. But if the promise is resolved and this find one method has found a document with the given email, then that user with that email will be assigned to this user variable. But if the user was not found, then this user will be undefined. So here I'm also going to add one more if statement where I will check if the user is a falsy value. So let's say the user with the given email was not found. In that case, this user will be null. This find one will return null. So this user will be null. So in that case, again, I'm going to create an error by using our custom app error class. And here as the error message, I'll simply say user with given email is not found. Okay. And for the status code, I'm again going to pass 400, which stands for bad request. And then from here, I'm going to call the global error handling middleware by passing the error object. And from here, we are going to return. Okay. With this, let's save the changes and let's go to Postman. So here I'm going to specify an email, let's say johnsmith1 at gmail.com. And if I send this request, we do not have any user with this email, so no user should be found. And in that case, we should get an error message saying that the user with the given email was not found. Let's see if that's the case. If I send this request, you will see that here we have received an error response where it says user with given email is not found. But if I specify a proper email with which we have a user in the database, so we have a user with the email johnsmith at gmail.com. So now if I send the request, we should get a response. So you see, we are getting a proper response. And in that case, I also want to send the user data in the response. So here I'll specify data, and inside that, I'll simply say user. And since this property name is same as this variable name, we don't need to do explicit assignment here. So again, if I go back to Postman and if I send the request, in the response you will see we also have the user details of the found user. So the first name is John, last name is Smith, email is johnsmith at gmail.com. We have the password, we have created it and updated it. So in this way, in our login functionality, we are already handling two scenarios. First, we are checking if in the request body, email and password exist or not. If they exist, then we are checking if the user with the given email exists or not. So these two conditions we have already added, and this is all for this lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to add other checks. So in the next lecture, we will see if the password which the user has provided with the login request, if it matches with the provided email or not. And if the password matches, then we are going to generate a JSON web token and we are going to send that JSON web token in the response. So these two functionalities we are going to implement in our next lecture. So this is all from this lecture. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.